Casual Nerdity is a podcast celebrating and discussing the pop culture that we love. Movies, TVs, comics, books, games, you name it. Our aim is to talk about the good, what worked, and yeah, sometimes what didn't. All with an eye towards building up, not tearing down. Thanks for joining us.
Welcome back to Casual Nerdity. It's time for us to swing back into the Marvel Cinematic Universe as we talk about Spider-Man Brand New Day.
Yeah.
I am Daryl, and with me as usual, I have...
Nick.
And Lauren.
Yay! So, a bunch of us went on the weekend, and we saw Brand New Day, and... as always, we'll start with our spoiler-free thoughts on the movie, what we liked, what we didn't, whether we think it's worth your time. Then we'll give you a clear warning before we dive into full spoiler mode to break down the story, the characters, the big moments, everything this movie might mean for Spider-Man's future.
Oh, yeah.
So,
as well as that
whether
of the
you-
MCU.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So whether you're still deciding if you want to see it or if you've already raced home from the theater, stick around. It's time to talk Spider-Man Brand New Day. So we'll start off with non-spoiler. I'm just going to start off with my initial thought. I think that this might be the strongest of the MCU Spider-Man movies.
Yeah, I'd agree. I think that it definitely is the most Spider-Man of the MCU Spider-Man movies, that's for sure.
Yes. Yes, Nick and I were talking yesterday, and even though there is still some of this in this movie, to date, the MCU Spider-Man movies felt like rather than being called Spider-Man, they should have been named after another Spider-Man title that Marvel used to have, Marvel Team Up.
Mm-hmm. I see.
Well, there's
Where
definitely a lot of that still here in the makeup. I'd say that one of the major parts that make it feel like a Spider-Man movie is some of the best Spider-Man choreography I've seen.
Oh,
from the-
yes.
from the
We got some
franchise.
actual web swinging action in this one.
yes.
Which is something that they
Yes.
intentionally left out of the earlier movies because it had been done so thoroughly by, the other Spider-Man before.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to beat the Amazing Spider-Man. Like, one of the few things that the Amazing Spider-Man did great was its web swinging sequences. But this is like on par, if not better, than those were. And
Yes.
that's high praise. Like, I'll go to bat. Like the first swings of both Amazing Spider-Man and Amazing Spider-Man 2, some of my favorite moments.
Well, I'm gonna say that I knew that we were in good hands with this movie when they announced that it was going to be directed by Destin Daniel Cretton,
Mhm.
because he does some amazing action choreography and scenes. Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings, I will say, I'm going to go out on a limb and say it has the best fight choreography of all 38 now MCU movies.
Ooh, I see.
I'd say it's easily the best Spider-Man fight sequence. In that it feels
Yeah.
so kinetic and frenetic. Like, the only person that you could only make sequences with this with a character like Spider-Man. The movement, the action type.
His agility.
Yeah.
It's so good.
And this isn't really a spoiler. We kind of got this in the trailers, but there's a real sense of isolation that we see in Peter in this movie. And the way the movie goes about it is a really good example of show, don't tell. Because we see that he's in a routine. We see that he's full-time into Spider-Man. Now, let's not question how he can pay for, anything. If Peter Parker's been wiped away and he's being Spider-Man full-time, there's no indication of a job or anything. So maybe Tony
maybe
Stark
he's a
left
hero
him.
for hire.
No, that's Luke Cage and Danny Rand. That better be coming on Disney Plus after Born Again season 2 or season 3. Anyway, maybe Tony Stark left him some money that maybe somehow survived the effects of the spell. I don't know, but that's beside the point. But he has no personal life. The closest thing
Yeah.
to a personal life as he has is visiting May's grave apparently daily.
Hmm.
And
Yeah, it's
even Tom Holland's kind of just his hair is messy in this movie, and he said in an interview that it wasn't so much a conscious styling choice, it was just kind of a side effect of him working on this and the Odyssey at the same time. But it works for the character and gives us a picture of somebody who's just kind of given up everything except this masked identity and mission.
yeah, it's pretty intense, you know. Before hanging out with y'all, I had isolated myself a lot personally, and it really brought back those memories of that period of time. And it's you know, it's like I said, it's very intense. It's very relatable to me in that regard, where sometimes that happens, and I might get more into that element in the spoilery section.
And
Ooh.
that is also a major part of the character of Spider-Man and why he uh, resonates with a lot of comic readers. His
Hmm.
And he goes through these phases of either putting himself very out there and it biting him back, or him isolating and that biting him back.
The old Parker luck.
Hmm.
And he has it in spades in this film.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, I know it would have been a little too precious, but you kind of wanted his landlord to be Mr. Ditkovich,
Kind of, yeah.
but it would have been a little too precious calling back to the Toby movies like that.
And they already did that with Jameson in the last one.
Yeah. Which interesting side note, I saw a snippet of an interview with J.K. Simmons recently where he was talking about coming back for the MCU's version of Jameson. And the reason MCU Jameson looks like J.K. Simmons rather than J. Jonah Jameson is because they literally called him and he agreed to do it the day before he shot the Far From Home post credit scene.
Oh wow.
And that was before, like, the original script for Far From Home had the multiverse stuff as a end gag, not as part of the story.
Well,
So
far
that,
from home, not No Way Home.
oh yeah, I would talk about, like, so the excuse was, like, it was originally people were like, oh, so that's how it's part of the multiverse stuff. But but like, even when they were talking about that, that was not even like the major plot point. They just wanted him
Yeah,
back just wanted J.K. Simmons back.
yeah, because
Understandable.
yeah, they called him the day before he filmed that post credit scene, and he filmed it in someone's office at Marvel Studios.
Amazing.
They slapped a green screen behind somebody's desk at Marvel Studios, and he filmed it the day after they called him.
But it
Hmm.
worked for again, like, praising a movie that we aren't watching today, but it worked for what they were going for, giving him that pseudo Alex Jones Infowars look.
Yeah, but back to this movie, Michael Giacchino's music is, as always, on point, and I recognized even during the opening music that I knew something was the same but different about
Yeah,
the Spider-Man theme.
Hmm.
I recognized I think it wasn't until I watched the new Rockstars breakdown that it's missing some of the beats towards
Hmm.
the
Yeah, I
end.
mean, I knew that it sounded the same but different, and what he said is that since Peter was removed from the world, he took his previous theme and removed notes.
Hmm.
And that, but it was like it it's sort of that one of those themes. It's sort of like when you're in a flow with writing something, you fill in the blanks. It's like, so I was listening to it in the theater. It's like, but it wasn't until like maybe a minute later I was like, wait, something felt off.
Hmm.
It's like,
Interesting.
Even though I
And
was like, that's the Spider-Man theme, that's the Kingdom Spider-Man theme, but it's like, wait, something felt off when I was listening to it. Because even though my brain was filling in the blanks, I was like, wait, there was something missing here.
I also thought that the Punisher was pitch perfect. And yeah, I know. The Punisher should be rated R. No, no. He's worked fine for decades at the equivalent of a PG-13, and that's when he hit his spike in popularity. So, no, he was perfect. I loved him.
And
Yeah, you
guess
know, I'm
what?
not.
He
I'm
spun
not
out of he
normally.
spun out
I'm
of
not normally
Spider-Man.
somebody who enjoys the Punisher very much. He's not really my thing.
Same,
But even
same.
in this particular movie, you know, I think he worked out pretty well. And I'm going to say that in general, I think that Spider-Man's representation of the broader MCU in this movie, was done very well. Because in the
Yeah,
first three MCU Spider-Man movies, the Marvel Cinematic Universe broadly kind of overwhelmed those movies to some
yes.
degree. And in this movie, there are a lot of characters from the broader MCU that show up to some degree or another, but it feels like they help enhance the Spider-Man elements, because Spider-Man has basically always been a character who has existed in a larger universe, but he's not always been directly connected to much of that broader universe. And I think the fact that this movie deals so much with isolation definitely helps that, because he's not being directly impacted by most of the other broader MCU characters for the most part. But then
Yeah,
also,
there.
most of the broader MCU characters that he interacts with aren't like core to the broader MCU. Some of them are even new, I think, for the most part. And so, in that regards, it's very different from him interacting with Iron Man or Iron Man's legacy whenever Iron Man was such a central figure to the
Yeah,
universe at that time.
Yeah, I mean the MCU Punisher hasn't even been on the big screen until this.
Yeah.
He's been
and like
TV only.
the closest he gets is to a cameo to what is going to be a major part, just one part of the team going into the next movie this year.
Yeah.
But one of the things that I think worked with the Punisher in this is, and his dynamic with Spider-Man, is
Mm-hmm.
that John Bernthal and Tom Holland have known each other since Tom Holland was like 10.
Oh, wow.
Hmm.
They worked on Broadway and in movies together and TV shows together. So
Mm-hmm.
they've known each other for most of Tom Holland's life, and the two of them filmed one another's MCU audition tapes while they were working on a movie together.
Nice.
So
So
Tom
did,
Holland
did,
filmed Bernthal's, Bernthal filmed Tom Holland's, and Bernthal's the one who told Tom Holland, do a backflip into the shot at the beginning of your audition tape. And Tom Holland has said he's been told that's what got him the job.
I mean,
Nice.
the fact that Tom Holland has that physicality has really is the one thing that has really helped. Like the fact that the boy can do his own stunts in a lot of ways. It's
Yeah,
like
he's
adds
got
it
the
adds
dance
it.
background to give that physicality of Spider-Man. And something that helped with the visuals of the movie as a whole is that even a lot of the web swinging effects, whether it was Tom Holland or a stunt double, were done practically,
Yeah, I heard
especially
about
when they were
Has been a
down
thing.
closer to street level.
that.
Which has been a thing that's been sort of like they've always sort of been like you can't really get the web swinging to look right in an actual guy, but they proved they
Hold my
could.
bureau.
That's basically what they did.
Yep.
Hold my bureau, Tom Holland's non-alcoholic beer line, which was
Yes,
in
in the
every
movie.
scene in the bodega.
Yeah,
Nice.
It was
he
in
he,
every
he
scene in the bodega.
hey he considering the chops that he had with his acting, he earned that extra little ad revenue right there.
Yes. Now, what other those are my big non-spoilery notes. What others do the two of you possibly have before we much quicker than normal dive into spoiler territory?
It's kind of difficult to talk about this movie without diving into spoiler territory because the that's basic. There's one mystery on everyone's lips, but Lauren, you go first before we have any
Well,
remarks.
as somebody who personally doesn't care about spoilers to even the slightest degree, I always have a very difficult time determining what to put here at all. So I'm just not
That is
gonna
fair.
put anything here at all.
That is fair. How about you, Nick? Or are we ready?
I'll add in my one final bit is like I'd say that of the current crop of MCU movies, this is one that is easily the most approachable for a general audience and for fans of just the Spider-Man part of the MCU. Again, that's not going into spoilers, but it does give a lot of stuff that you can look forward to going into the future of Spider-Man and the MCU. So I say that it's you get all the information you need going in, so you don't feel left out.
Right.
Yeah.
And I feel
Okay,
that's always a good sign, especially since this movie is the new chapter in the Spider-Man movies.
Yeah. So are we ready to mark our spoiler break?
I think
Yep.
so.
All right. So we're about to have about 2.5 minutes before we go into spoilers because we're going to mark it with the final trailer for the movie, just because I think most of at least the opening half's dialogue is pretty pertinent for the spoiler discussion.
Hi, my name is Peter Parker. I have something to tell you that's gonna sound crazy. But it's the truth.
You're the Spider-Man.
Can't tell anybody about this. Gotta keep it a secret.
Okay.
Thank you.
Everybody good? We are Spider-Man! We used to know each other. We were together. But something bad was gonna happen.
Me.
And the only way to stop it was to do the hard thing.
You're gonna forget who I am.
What?
What are you talking about? I'm gonna come and find you. And I'll explain everything. You're better. I love you. Is there anyone who's just wait and tell me when you see me again?
My name is Peter Parker, and I would like a coffee.
Is there anything else?
Maybe I'll never read this to you.
No.
Maybe I'm just writing this for me. And maybe that's my responsibility, to live alone with the truth. Because I'm not just Peter Parker. I'm Spider-Man.
We're faced with a threat that can be anyone.
You sure you want to do this, Scorpion?
You think I'm Scorpion?
Talk to Banner?
No Banner. Only Hulk.
I'm sorry, but you're in danger. What?
I promised you that I would keep you safe.
Please, you just have to trust me. Come on. Fine.
You're the only one who can sense it.
Hey, can we do this one at a time, please?
You're the only one who can defeat it.
The Spidey Tracker app says that Spider-Man is in the direct vicinity.
Oh yeah? No way, that's crazy.
That was a fun trailer. That was a fun trailer, and it actually summed up a lot of what the movie deals with without telling you a lot.
Just like the movie itself, it does set up like here's the important character beats, here's the important stuff you need to know going right into the movie.
And speaking of going right into the movie, we're in spoiler territory, so
to me, my X-Men.
Let's not waste any time. Let's talk about the Jean Grey of it all.
Oh yeah.
So I am surprised that they did indeed introduce an actual MCU X-Men character in a Sony movie.
Mm-hmm.
A bold
And
choice among many bold choices, but that's easily the boldest choice to be like, Sony, we're gonna throw you the weirdest bone right now. Like, you're
Mm-hmm.
gonna synergize with our X-Men stuff that we're doing right now.
and another bold choice is she was a flat out villain in this.
Basically,
Oh,
yeah.
I I've been reading so many very contradictory and people who are and terrible takes about how she's not a villain or she's better for Peter. It's like I don't know why the discourse is crazy, but no,
Yeah.
I'm on the camp that she is the villain, a villain in this movie, but the villain. I think of them. She's the,
Yeah. No,
I
granted, I just have one viewing behind me, but and we were talking about this yesterday. I'm having a hard time seeing this as a Jean Grey that I'm going to want to root for when the X-Men get here in full force.
Mm-hmm.
again like
Because the
I,
story that she has in
she's
this
playing
movie,
like first thing we'll say, Sadie Sink does a great job playing the roles.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
oh yeah.
But
I mean,
you can continue now with the role, though.
well, I mean, what could have been maintained as righteous anger on her part, because the story that she's given, she has every reason to be angry,
Mm-hmm.
but they dialed it up to the point that she was a cruel, malicious, vile person who attempted murder multiple times.
On
And then
innocence.
there's the rooftop scene.
God, the
The rooftop
rooftop
scene is
scene.
very intense.
It is. I'm just gonna say
Well, I
it.
mean,
It's
before we get into the rooftop scene, because it's worth
worth
chewing
dissecting.
on all on its own.
Yeah.
But prior to that, I mean, there's no way she could have anticipated Spider-Man or the Punisher would have tried to stop the tank that
Yeah.
was loaded down with explosives.
This is true.
She had no
She
intention of getting
then,
the old woman out of there.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So there was no way she could have foreseen that either of them were going to get involved in the tank, in stopping the tank, or clear any of the damage control agents out of the way before it blew up. She tossed the damage control agent off of the roof to distract Spider-Man. So if Spider-Man doesn't save him, he dies. She walks a
That's
man
a
out
straight
into
up attempted murder,
traffic.
and he gets
She
hit.
walks a man out into traffic who gets hit by a taxi and bounces off of it.
Again, I
Eh,
knew Rockstar said like that guy's dead. I, I wouldn't think that's fast enough for death, but he's definitely hurt.
he's definitely hurt, but she effectively has no problem with walking him into
Into a
the path of
situation
his
that's
death.
dangerous. Yeah. He
Um,
couldn't know what car was going to hit him. The car hitting
yeah,
him could have been a truck, for all he
yeah.
cared.
And she, at the end of the rooftop scene, there's another attempt there. Now, the only one that could even remotely be considered a so-called crime of passion, something that is happening in the moment in her anger when she is just purely enraged, is Metzger, when she's holding Metzger at multiple glass shard points.
Yes. And even then, she's
And
still in a measured enough control to not immediately do it.
yeah. So all of these are willingness, if not attempts, willingness to commit premeditated murder.
Yes.
And
It's
I
that's
just
messed up enough, but also the way her sort of body hopping is portrayed.
Oh yes, it's quite freaky.
It's the fact that it's a clear blankness. You are gone. There's no you, it's her. You're just boom, you're her. But there's also the physicality of it when you're moving, which means there's like a physical aspect to that that's causing people to like move, and so they recognize their mind has been sort of hit with something. They don't know what it was, but I'm pretty sure they recognize that was unusual. Like,
Yeah, I mean, MJ explains that she doesn't remember anything of what happened.
Yeah.
That's a pretty critical plot point right there.
Yeah.
They don't remember anything.
But it's like
absolutely, and
no awareness that anything happened
but
other
just
than the fact that they're suddenly in a different spot.
Yeah.
The physicality of her, what her, they called them the inhabited in the credits.
Yeah.
What they called, what the physicality of the inhabited when she moves from one to another doesn't look pleasant either.
It looks kind of like a body spasm, like
yeah,
like you know when you have like a cramp and it's like your body goes like
yeah.
It's like it doesn't look like the fact that she can move quickly between bodies has a pleasant outcome, and it doesn't. So I recognize that they may not know what exactly happened, but they can definitely I'd imagine they feel like sore after that.
Well, we know that one guy definitely feels sore, if he feels any.
Oh yeah, below the back, yeah.
But
I think I think from a thematic purpose, from a thematic standpoint, Jean in this movie is definitely meant to parallel Spider-Man. Spider-Man is dealing with not having anybody in his life. He's dealing with isolation, and in turn, that is literally turning him into a monster. It's intensifying his spider powers, and they're taking control of his mind. But Jean Grey in this movie represents a more mundane form of that, in which she has also essentially lost everybody that she cares about. She, as far as I can tell, she doesn't have anyone in her life either. And while Spider-Man's isolation is turning him into a monster in a more physical, genetic sort of way, Jean Grey represents the danger of this isolation, the danger it has on one's psyche in a more conventional way, honestly. Because that's why she's able to do these cruel things, is because she doesn't care about people anymore. She also represents how fast somebody could drop off in similar circumstances if they didn't have that support. It's explained that she didn't have anyone supporting her growing up, so she didn't have the initial moral fiber, that centralizing moral force that's kept Spider-Man together for so long. She is a representation of what Spider-Man could be if he didn't change the way that he's acting. And I think that the connection that she and Spider-Man make at the end of the movie help to show that she is going, much like how Spider-Man changed in this movie, getting connected with people again. I feel like that's showing that Jean is herself also going to start connecting with people again, and Spider-Man helped her to do that, similar to how Spider-Man helped all of the multiversal villains in the previous live action movie. Spider-Man helped her as well, I think. And I think that Spider-Man's impact on her is going to substantially change her. He's going to heal her in the way that he himself was healed in this movie. And I think that's going to fundamentally change who she is as a person. And I think that her saving Spider-Man at the end of this movie is the first major sign of that. It's their first sign that she's managed to connect with somebody for the first time in who knows how long. And again, I don't think it's going to be the last time.
It's sort of her. It's also us seeing, because Jean Grey is shown like her powers are discovered early on, and but she also meets with Charles Xavier, who is able to, depending on the story, either contain or help her grasp her powers.
Yes.
This is a Jean Grey without that, and put into a much more thoughtful situation with no support. See, this one doesn't even have her parents, which she did have in most of her story origins.
And see, I think that is part of my issue with the movie's portrayal of Jean. And that is that I'm coming to it with the baggage of familiarity with the character. And this is the character who had such a strong moral center that she was able to make an all-powerful cosmic being see the horrors that it had committed and take itself out.
She is the
in
heart
her
of,
form.
and she's also the heart of the X-Men. Her, Scott, and the original team with Professor X. There's a reason why they're like that. It's especially in the X-Men '97 series, they're so pivotal to the point that the team nearly breaks apart because of their willingness to maybe move on.
Yeah,
And
yeah. I
so,
think that one thing is that this just isn't really Jean Grey by any substantial measure. Her powers are different from Jean Grey's. Her backstory is different from Jean Grey's. Her morality is different from Jean Grey's.
and
It's really just a different character altogether.
And
Again,
see,
again,
I was having that thought, and there's an X-Men adjacent character who has these powers and a pretty similar backstory. They could have made her Karma. They wouldn't have been able to cast Sadie Sink, who is perfect casting for Jean, but Shan Koi Man does not have the name recognition that Jean Grey does.
yeah, like it's bizarre that we have Jean with a lot of the serial numbers filed off in order to make this character that, yes, does work as a foil to Spider-Man in this, but she's Jean Grey.
It makes me wonder one of two things. The first thing it makes me wonder is, are they already prepping yet another third speed run to Dark Phoenix?
Oh boy.
Or, since it is widely believed, not confirmed, but widely believed that after Secret Wars, which is allegedly the next time we're going to be seeing Sadie Sink as Jean, after Secret Wars, there's supposed to be at least a soft reboot to the MCU. Will Jean be affected by that reboot and become more of a traditional Jean?
I don't know.
Again, there's some risk to that because, again, as you very well said, Lauren, the story has set her up to go on a better path. And I can agree with that. But also, I don't see that better path being her growing into a Jean that we'd see in a traditional X-Men story.
And I think what the big sticking point to me in the characterization that gives me such a hard time seeing her, even if we want to say that there is a quote unquote redemption arc, the line that she crossed that makes it hard for me to see her becoming closer to a Jean is, we've mentioned it before, so let's start chewing on it, the rooftop scene.
Yeah, the rooftop scene.
Because so she,
how do we set it?
Anyone listening to this part of the episode has probably seen the movie, I hope, because
Yep.
we are in spoiler territory. But just to set the stage, to remind anyone, she's threatened MJ because she found Peter's apartment. She found the letter from the end of No Way Home, and that was in the trailer that we played.
Which did lead to New Rockstars did mention a very funny bit about that is that he's holding the letter, but also so the person who's controlling is holding it. So that's fine. As he kind of has to puppet them like that.
Yeah.
Fun detail.
And so she threatens MJ. Peter goes to rescue MJ, and she's like, "Why is Spider-Man here?" And he's like, "I promise to protect you, but you're in danger. You have to go." And she's like, "Well, okay." That was also in the trailer. And he takes her beyond the radius that he's established that Jean can jump into. They're on the rooftop of Silvercup Studios. You kind of wonder, is Connor McLeod and the Kurgan battling underneath them? No, that was decades ago. But they, he's talking to her. They have a conversation. She's like, I feel like we must have known one another, and he kisses her, or she kisses him, and
It takes off the mask.
Takes off the mask, and she starts saying she starts saying that she remembers and that she's so glad that he found her again, and they're hugging tightly. Peter is crying tears of joy, and the other shoe drops, and she says, "Go ahead, touch her. You want to."
And we just lost
And
cabin pressure, and everything has the
you
vibe has changed.
You could feel the air leave the theater.
Mm-hmm.
Because
you could feel
the lines hurt, but it's true. We did want to believe in fairy tales.
Yeah, and I mean,
True love's kiss
part of
could
me
bring
was
her back.
Part of me was expecting it, but I still wasn't ready for it.
Yeah,
because like that, kudos to Tom Holland. You could see
Kudos to
his
him and
heart
Zendaya.
breaking. Yeah, but you could see his heart ripped out in front of him.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, that was the first of 3 times that this movie broke my heart.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, oh,
but
and then she just keeps going.
She keeps jabbing and jabbing and jabbing, and it triggers.
It's less jabbing; it's more twisting the knife like deeper.
And then it triggers that more aggressive spider side of Peter that's been developing because of the isolation that you touched on, Lauren. And he's holding her over the edge of the building, and she
I can see how some
continues to
people would be
taunt.
like. I can see how some people would be like, Spider-Man. That's hurt. No, he's not thinking rationally right now,
Mm-hmm.
and that's not MJ.
Yeah, well, I mean, we had already established a couple of scenes earlier that when that side of him takes over, he's not thinking, he's acting on instinct.
Yeah.
And he's acting on an aggressive instinct.
Mm-hmm.
And she basically throws herself off of the roof.
And another homage to the death of Gwen Stacy from the Amazing Spider-Man 2.
And Nick, you and I watched that same new Rockstars video. It's wonderful direction on Cretton's part that throughout this entire conversation, after he's holding her over, her face is bathed in the red of the Silvercup Studios sign.
Yeah,
and
in a way, a transformation. In the minute
the moment Jean leaps out, it's no longer shaded in the red.
Ooh, nice.
It's clever. It's clever lighting that adds to like that sinister feeling to it. Like it's
and
dark.
a few scenes later, you know, we are not even a few scenes later, much later in the movie, we get a moment that you know brought on an aspect that in my let's say in my male privilege I hadn't even considered.
Yeah.
When he's talking to her and he says, "Oh, you know, when she was inside your mind, she kissed me and I kissed back, and you need to know that."
Like that's when the other shoe drop. Oh, that's
That yeah,
even
and yeah,
worse.
that's what unlocked it and made it align for me.
It's like that's
Because
that's that's a double violation of both of
yeah,
them.
Jean assaulted both of them
Yep, she sure did.
in that moment.
And
So
and then you think about it. This is not Jean under immense stress. This is not Jean in a moment of rage. She just decided to do that. She didn't have to do any of that.
She decided to be malicious. And that's where I have trouble rooting for a redemption arc for her. And who maybe they'll pull it off. Sadie Sink is an amazing actress. I loved her in Stranger Things. She did a fantastic job in this movie.
She was
When
great in
when it
She's great
was
in the House of
rumored
the
that she was
Dragon.
going to be Jean, when it was rumored she was going to be Jean, I was looking forward to seeing her as Jean. But
like
it's
it's again like everything else. It's that like yes, reckless, dangerous. That could imply the reckless and dangerous, like the fear of mutants, and even her outburst during the end of the movie. But as a character, she did just something that's incredibly vile.
that is something I would expect from Emma Frost, not from Jean Grey.
Oh, even Emma Frost, I think, would have like it depends on who's writing Emma Frost, but it's like that is like in like pure like her and the White Queen like persona, like evil stuff. Like this is
that's Emma Frost before Claremont decided that he wanted to actually Claremont wasn't even the one who started her redemption arc. It was when
yeah.
it was Generation X. That was Lobdell.
So like it's Emma Frost has gotten a lot better treatment in recent years. I think it's a lot more recent her sort of heel turn.
But
yeah, I keep thinking back to the previous movie. How much the previous movie was focused on helping all of the different villains get over their issues, and how Peter was so fundamentally determined to do so. He would even risk his entire life, the existence of the multiverse, to help these people get past their issues and become functional again. And I think that in that regard, the heinousness of this scene will probably come back if Jean Grey continues to be relevant to Spider-Man. In that the end of the movie clearly indicates that Spider-Man has given Jean Grey the motivation to change. But unlike the other villains from the previous movie, she was not under some sort of mind control or mind altering substance or mind altering gizmo. That was
even the most evil of them. Even the most evil of the villains from No Way Home, the Green Goblin. Green Goblin and Norman Osborn are two separate guys.
And I think that this is going to be a matter of, I think it might be a matter of social tension between him and MJ if he wants to continue helping her. It'll be a test of his resolve to help people be better. Because
he showed that he's willing to try. Again, because when he did eventually go to rescue her from the DODC, the Department of Damage Control, he intended to kill him
Mm-hmm.
because he had no one to trust, and even implied that he should just give up being a man and be the spider.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, he was directly responsible for her being there.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like again, like she had given up on all hope, but Peter was there to rescue.
Mm-hmm.
And
And I think
that's sort of the culmination of his arc in this movie is him still being that Spider-Man. The great power, the responsibility is like as heinous as this villain was, he's not gonna let her suffer.
So yeah, I think
you saying
ultimately ultimately this is I think that this is the first part of a test of his resolve, and I think it's going to
Yeah.
be I think it's going to continue to be a test of his resolve potentially in the future if she comes back, where MJ now knows that she violated both of their bodily autonomy.
Yeah.
And I think that it might cause issues with MJ if she learns that he is trying to help her. He is still trying to help her become a better person, even if she is willing to become a better person and was not influenced by some outside source. It's a different it is a different challenge for him, a different test in that regard.
And Nick, with you having mentioned the great power, great responsibility line, can I say that I do think it was beautiful that the way he finally got through to her was, she had tried getting into his mind early into the movie, and that's what established that she couldn't. And we
Mm-hmm.
saw a flash of a scene that was clearly right after the end of Homecoming.
Yeah.
And he let her in, and she saw May's conversation with Peter
Even
right after
better,
she
it
found
was
out that he's Spider-Man.
I liked how well they shot it. And it's for a moment it's Peter and then it's her on the bed.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's so good.
That it's because it gives me it's very similar to Amazing Spider-Man 900 when before the Superior Spider-Man arc, similar to what Doc Ock he did with Doc Ock when Doc Ock was taking over his mind, letting him see and experiencing what Spider-Man experiences. And in this case, letting her see and feel what he's the person that has taught him how to be a better person in a moment when he needed it.
But just the whole scene with May where Jean was clearly mirroring Peter's side of the conversation. We had seen enough of it to know that she was mirroring his side of the conversation, but seeing May's entire side of it and just the unconditional love and acceptance that May had for Peter.
It's again, is what Jean wanted. She felt cast out. She felt alone.
Especially whenever they established previously in the movie that her mom had in fact thrown her out whenever she learned that she had powers.
Yeah. So it was exactly what she needed to hear. In a way that's similar to what Peter needed to hear in the previous movie about great power and great responsibility. He needed to hear that, yeah, things are gonna change and it's gonna be rough and you might not be ready for it. But you have people that can care about you.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I said that rooftop scene was the first time that the movie broke my heart.
Yes.
Yes.
The second time the movie broke my heart was after Jean has left MJ and Peter takes her to the Punisher's boat hideout to lay low.
Which itself is a
And
callback to the comics. It's called Golden Girl. It's actually yellow in the comics.
And they have some bonding, even though she doesn't see him without the mask.
And I do like that they continue to the establishment that MJ in this universe is on a similar smart level as Peter.
Yeah.
Again,
And
when people say like, "Well, what are we going to get a Gwen Stacy in this universe?" It's like this MJ is kind of a mixture of a lot of Spider-Man's girlfriends, including the intelligence of Gwen Stacy.
and so he goes off, he has his encounter uh away from the boat. He comes back, and he had left the letter behind by accident. That, the same letter from the trailer,
Mm-hmm.
same letter that Jean
Oh,
found.
yeah, from the end
And
of
she
No Way Home, and
yeah,
she read it.
and she read it, and they have this conversation where, she tells him to take off the mask, and they talk, and she's like, I understand how you feel, but that spell or whatever it was, it worked. I don't have any of those memories. I don't know you, so I don't love you.
And like, honestly, this is the most complicated type of and the best writing in the whole movie, and that no one's wrong here.
No one's wrong. She understands perfectly where he's coming from, but, you know, I'm not that person anymore
Mm-hmm.
because I don't have the memories that would allow me to be that person.
Yeah.
And the unspoken part of that, I mean, she did kind of mention it, the spell worked. It's like, because of you, I can't be that person again.
Mm-hmm.
And to his credit, and again, you expect, a movie happy ending. You expect, true love to break through the barriers of the magic spell and reunite them, if for no other reason because on screen and in real life, Tom Holland and Zendaya are just adorable together.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
they are.
And
But it's like I applaud the movie having the boldness to be like to address it. No, this isn't something we can just retcon back.
this was the big climax of the previous movie. We can't just say, okay, and now she's better.
Mm-hmm.
That would like literally remove all the emotional work that the previous movie did.
And it was a great scene. It was an incredibly human scene. And that is the
Another
second time.
incredibly well acted, and it's like, but it's also
Yes.
like, yeah, I can applaud it for what it did, but I can also be like, oh, that still
You, you're,
hurts.
Mm-hmm.
you're sitting there in your seat going, no, 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 the two of you should be together. And but they're absolutely both right. And she's like, I respect you and how you feel because you had those experiences, but I didn't anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And again, it's also the fact that this is roughly around 4 years after the events of that. She
Yeah.
is a different person now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she
Like,
she has had 4 years of experiences, of new genuine experiences, truly without him in her
without ever
life.
knowing him, because again, it's the spell isn't just, oh, I don't know who Spider-Man is. No, he's gone from her mind.
Yep, and Lauren, I don't know if you noticed this. I didn't. I want to see the movie again to
Yeah.
do it, but the same new Rockstars video that Nick and I have both mentioned,
Mm-hmm.
in the Marvel Studios logo, I noticed that all of the clips and everything were from the previous Spider-Man movies, but when it was a scene of MJ and Peter, or Ned and Peter, or the three of them together, as the clip played, Peter faded out of existence.
I did not notice that. No.
So even in the Marvel Studios logo, they were reinforcing that, yeah, the spell wiped out
Peter
his
Parker.
existence in their memories and in their
Again,
lives.
again, like I like that again. They reinforce the fact that this isn't just like, oh, people don't know who Spider-Man is, but Peter's still around. No, no, no. Peter's gone.
Mm-hmm.
And
There's
part
no
of
like, oh, I recognize Peter Parker as someone who went to my school. No, no. If there was any inkling of Peter Parker in Michelle Jones's mind, that's gone. Even the
and
fleeting part of that.
and Jean has a line too that Peter himself has apparently also worked to scrub any remaining references to himself.
Yeah.
So anything that did remain, any record that did remain, he's wiped out.
As part of the
So
isolation, which unfortunately further gives credence to the fact that even if there was a way to jog her memory, like he's likely removed that little piece that
yeah,
she might have remembered, if any.
and part of those 4 years of experiences too, she has a new boyfriend.
Yep.
Yes.
We don't see much of him.
We
He's
don't.
just called
He's in only
boyfriend.
he's only in one scene, and he's played by Emanis Fondi. And in the credits, he is just listed as the boyfriend. And come on, call him
Cowards.
Paul. You cowards, cowards, call him Paul, because Paul's only reason to exist in the comics is to come between Peter and MJ.
It's literally he is literally the functional wall that is like, we could have Peter and MJ back together. Nope.
But we won't. But
The reason
I
is
think
Paul.
I think we can all say with pretty solid certainty that the boyfriend will return in Avengers Doomsday.
Oh yeah, certainly.
But no, I mean, one thing too that I noticed it at the end of No Way Home. I noticed it in this. Even though she doesn't remember Peter, it's one of those things that gives you hope, even though you know from their conversation that there isn't really any. But she still wears the broken back Black Dahlia necklace
Again, like
that Peter gave her in Far From Home.
that again, like I do love how that both the sim the symbolism behind it. It's still a broken necklace, so but it's also something that she naturally would have liked to have, but also she likely doesn't remember getting it. She just sort of has
Probably
it,
not.
but so I think that it, and since it is like the most physical piece of Peter that she has, that is one piece of hope that I think.
Well, and also she takes it after leaving the boat. She takes him back to the apartment, and he's quote unquote met Ned, and Ned is a huge Spider-Man fan, and he's created a tracking app to track Spider-Man sightings and all of this. And he's trying to figure out who Spider-Man is to thank him, because Spider-Man still saved their lives a few times in high school.
Yep, it was only Peter that was erased. They still know about Spider-Man.
Like Spider-Man and Night Monkey Night Monkey will return in Avengers Doomsday, hopefully.
Obviously.
And so she takes him back. It's like, at least say hi to Ned. He's a huge fan. At least say hi to him. Come on up.
Yeah.
It's like,
so
like
he
which is a great throwing the dog a bone, because like the fact that she was like, I'm leaving now, and it's like, I can't get home from here. I didn't bring my phone. And just again, great visual storytelling of they're so quiet. She has to hold on to him, and he has to hold him, and it's like you can just hear their minds just racing as they're swinging through the city. It is like,
well, and because we know from the end of Far From Home, the beginning of No Way Home, he took her swinging as
That's
Spider-Man
also when
after
we,
she found
and
out.
that's and she was terrified of it.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
But that's also when we sort of realized that Sadie Sink that Jean was in her mind because she did not at all mind being swung around, even though this would be her
Yeah.
first time swinging with Spider-Man.
That and the way that, even though he stays completely costumed and masked, he and Ned build Legos again like they did when they were little and when they were younger, and they completely fall into a best friend vibe, and you're sitting there and it's so bittersweet because you know that Ned doesn't know who this is,
Mm-hmm.
but
But
they're
it's
still.
the same guys.
Mm-hmm.
And
It's like
MJ's
meeting
sitting
up.
there sketching them,
Mm-hmm.
I'm
and
glad
she's
they brought back her sketch work. That we haven't seen that in a while.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
and she's like, you guys feel like best friends.
Mm-hmm.
And then she
Yeah,
turns it around and it's him and Peter instead of him and Spider-Man.
Yeah.
yeah,
That
and it's
didn't
like,
break my heart, but it like made my heart like, oh, that
yeah, the same. And yeah, we also have, you both realize, right? This is the first time we've seen the Hulk since Age of Ultron.
Yes, yes. So yeah, the Hulk died. Well, actually, it's the first time since we've seen the real Hulk and since Thor Ragnarok.
No, but he was
that
talky.
I
World
mean, I
War
guess, but I
Hulk.
think that
Like
that's I feel like
yeah,
it's still the same character though. Like
in
he,
a
I,
way, it's just yeah.
It's the
There's a
first
lot
time
of
we've seen the
debate.
Savage Hulk since Age of
Mhm.
Yeah,
Ultron, is what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
sure,
and
okay.
like like pure Hulk smash puny Banner Hulk.
Because yeah, that was one of the reasons why people were kind of disappointed with the direction of the character. I think at some point, whenever he just became Doctor Banner, because the Hulk functionally stopped being a character at that point.
But see, that's from one of the best runs of the comic.
True,
Yeah,
true.
And I'm saying this with 100% bias because Peter David's 12-year run of the Hulk is like,
kind of the
I think,
best.
is the gold standard of the character,
Hmm.
and
It's
he's
like
one of my
yeah,
favorite writers, and
but it's
and
like
But also, we
so
didn't get to see the progression. We didn't get to see how that happened. It happened during the time skip. So
yep.
they
I mean, in
basically.
the comics it happened in one issue.
I see.
Like
In the
again,
comics it,
and that
in
mostly
the
has to
comics
do
it
with
happened because Bruce decided that, you know and this was also Peter David, the writer, deciding that, okay, we've established over the years, and I'm not the first writer to establish this, but I've been the one kind of running with it, that uh, Bruce suffers from, at the time it was called multiple personality disorder. Now it's dissociative identity disorder.
Yes.
And Banner, the green savage Hulk, and the gray, like thug
Mr.
like
Fix It.
Hulk
Mob
That's Mr.
boss Hulk.
Fix
are
It. Yeah.
three distinct personalities, and that were created out of the abuse that he suffered at his father's hands, and uh, the gamma bomb basically gave Bruce shape-shifting powers that allow the personalities to express physically,
Yes.
to manifest physically.
Mm-hmm.
And so in reading up on, at the time, MPD, Peter David's like, okay, well, in MPD, the goal is not to eliminate the various identities, like Banner has constantly tried to do. He's always tried to cure himself of the Hulk. The goal is integration of the personalities. And so there was one issue where he went under super hypnosis by Doc Samson, and um, the three personalities merged. So he got Banner's intelligence, the Green Hulk's strength, because it was the strongest one, and kind of the Gray Hulk's attitude.
Mm-hmm.
But it happened in one issue. So I had zero problem with them saying, yeah, during the 5-year gap, I figured it out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's just that that kind of removed the Hulk from kind of a lot of the traditional action that a lot of people want to see Hulk do.
I think the biggest thing is that, you know, the dynamic between Hulk and Banner had been something that they had been building up over time,
This
figuring
is
out how
true.
they can work together, and to have that plot thread that's central to that character just happen entirely off screen and never really get resolved. There's never any deeper
There's also
explanation of it at all. I can
there's
understand
also
why
the
people
fact
would be kind of agitated about that, because
and
it
there's
might
also
have
the
only
fact
taken
that
one issue, but it was an issue that existed.
yeah, it's also the fact that we can't have Hulk movies.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we can't have solo Hulk movies, so the
So even if we
MCU
wanted,
movies
even if
have
they wanted to
basically
tell
been
that
doing
story,
Hulk's greatest hits.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, when they're allowed to use him, and it's like, well, we can't give him his
Well,
own movie.
they're allowed to use him whenever they want. He just can't headline a movie without them having to split the money with Universal.
Yeah.
Yeah, the actual fight scene against the Hulk is great, though.
Oh, that
was, and
again,
it's so good.
Back to the choreography. That choreography is so good, especially the Hulk chasing him through the hallway.
Mm-hmm.
It felt so Spider-Man.
Well, and when they're first fighting one another, and Hulk's got a favorite move. He starts smashing him around like he did Loki at the end of Avengers.
Yep.
But then he goes to swing down again, and Spider-Man's missing because he's jumped onto Hulk's back.
Yep.
Which
That's
is a classic
so Spider-Man.
It's so Spider-Man.
And they never went all the way through with saying that this happened. But in the comics, when the version of the spell was cast that erased the knowledge of Spider-Man's dual identity. It didn't erase Peter Parker. It just erased the revelation of his identity.
Mm-hmm.
There was a plot point in one issue somewhere that Banner forgot, but Hulk remembered because when the spell took place, he was Banner.
I see.
Hulk wasn't there for the spell to affect.
Mm-hmm.
And so they a lot of people were speculating when they said, the Hulk's going to be in this movie, that they were going to go there.
Mm-hmm.
And they didn't explicitly, but they did kind of imply it, because in that one moment where, through the webbing, all of the pieces of the building the Hulk is demolished are hanging off of him, and he's hanging on to the building.
Yep.
And he's got he's got Spider-Man down, and he's like, it's me, Peter, I'm your friend.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when the Hulk just kind of
stops
and lets himself fall.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, did Banner go to prison for this?
He went to the hospital.
He went to the hospital, and there was a newscast that they were trying to figure out what was up.
Mm-hmm.
It's entirely possible he might. But oh God, we need a She-Hulk one-shot. on Disney Plus.
Yeah,
We need her defending
needs-
her cousin for this.
Because he was mind
Yeah.
controlled for a lot of it.
Yes, and so I presume that Nick has not shown you the She-Hulk TV series yet.
Nah, I don't think I'm gonna watch it.
So, in the She-Hulk TV series, they've established that some of the wacky out there bullshit of the MCU
Mhm.
is legal precedent
Oh
in
boy.
the legal system.
hmm
Like, there is a guy who is he was suing an Asgardian who had swindled money from him by shape-shifting to look like Megan the Stallion, and was talking to him on some dating app or social app and swindled money out of him. And the fact that it was a shapeshifter was part of the case.
hmm
And
And this
so
isn't
they're
the
there
first
in the
time-
courtroom shapeshifting.
and we established that there's multiple types of mind control, be it the Scarlet Witch, which is magic,
So,
to Red Room
it-
mind control, to Bucky's mind control.
It is entirely possible that Banner could be exonerated by proving in a court of law that he was mind controlled. I want to see that one shot now.
I do too. That because like that seems very plausible, and it'd be likely be fun.
It would be a lot of fun.
be
That
very
that series was fun.
It was.
I don't care what anybody says.
But you don't care what anybody says, Daryl.
Nope, but I definitely don't care what the incels say. And they're the ones
This
who
is
hated
true.
that show the most.
True.
This is true.
Because Lauren, do you know who the ultimate villain of that series was?
The MCU writers.
No, the ultimate villain was a group of incels.
Oh, okay.
They were running a smear campaign against She-Hulk, and then she decided that the big final fight was stupid, and that's
Mhm.
when she busted through the Disney Plus menu screen and went into a Marvel documentary and had words with the writing room, and Kevin, not Kevin Feige, but a robot.
hmm
We're still wearing Kevin Feige's hat.
Of course.
Yes. But anyway, back to this movie.
Yes.
Yes.
But yeah, I really this may also maybe just like with the Punisher and Spider-Man, maybe some of the best use of Banner and the Hulk.
Yes.
Yeah,
Very true.
Like we got equal. I think they both got good screen time to each other.
Mhm.
Banner felt like he was in control and gave some sage advice to Peter Parker without knowing who he was.
Mhm.
And so
About the nature,
I do
part of the nature of it is like the inhibitor thing. I do like how it looks like the inhibitor he used to fix Doc Ock in the previous movie.
Yeah.
I do like
yeah.
that sort of, like that subtleness of that. But it's also like how do you know which parts are the good and the bad? It's like
Mhm.
and he had no answer.
He did not.
And speaking of the mind control and the guest stars, it just popped into my head. I think Bernthal was having a lot of fun playing Sadie Sink while she was possessing the Punisher.
Oh yeah.
He had the sassiest walk in that
Oh,
in that
absolutely.
scene. Like I'm not sure how much of that was Sadie Sink or him, but either way, that was hilarious. I'm like, okay, you can handle that.
And so Peter,
Even
as a result of all,
setting the bombs was really cool. It's like
Mhm.
just either one. I don't know if like Sadie Sink gave him those ideas or those were just his ideas. Whoever came up with that whole sequence, top notch. Great job.
It is kind of funny how she brought the Hulk in the first place in order to get through the vault, and then it turns out that the way that she gets through the vault is by using the Punisher instead.
Yeah. And
Well, best joke with the Punisher was when he's out of the mind control and he looks at his gun and then looks at Spider-Man because he webbed the gun to the wall. It's like, is that my gun?
Yeah. Yeah.
And they, with use of the inhibitor and Spider-Man not knowing any better, which he should have, because they used a deep cut for the director of damage control by using an X-Men villain who appeared in one story.
Amazing.
It's like it's an X-Men. It's a deep cut X-Men villain.
Mm-hmm.
So this guy's bad news. But they take her into custody and they start testing on her, and she's been out to find her sister Sarah that damage control had taken into custody, and the more Metzger starts talking,
all she has to go on is like a single message she apparently got from her sister through their telepathic link.
VMAX.
Mm-hmm.
And that has been our MacGuffin through the whole movie.
Yes.
Finding out what VMAX is.
Mm-hmm.
And they start testing on her. And the more Metzger talks, the clearer it becomes that through these experiments, Sarah died.
Mm-hmm.
And as they start cranking up the juice on Jean, experimenting on her, her head falls back. She sees the air vent above her with a label flapping on it that it says Vent Max, but the way the label is broken and flapping, it says VMAX.
Mm-hmm. And that's when she
so
realizes
the last thing that the last message she got from her sister was her dying message, the last thing she saw.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And all throughout the movie, you know that Metzger is sus.
Mm-hmm.
But every time somebody mentions VMAX to him, he's like, I have no idea what you're talking about. You're like, oh, he's lying. He's so lying. He had no idea.
Yeah, no, he really didn't know.
It was a red herring on like the plot as a MacGuffin, but it's a hell of a. I assume this is the third time that the movie ripped out your heart.
Yes, this is the third time that my heart broke.
Of course.
Because this one, like, I was like, all right, Gene, kill them all.
Mm-hmm.
And so then when her powers spike and everything, and she's now holding Metzger, like we said, at multiple glass shard point,
Mm-hmm.
that's the one time that I can say, like, okay, this is a lashing out in anger and surprise and grief.
Like,
this is
she's been betrayed. She's lost everything. The one thing that she was looking for, her sister, the only person she had in her life, is gone.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And so this is the time that I can excuse is a strong word.
Comprehend.
But it's
understand.
Understand. It's the
this
one
is
that
a moment
I can
of
understand.
It's a moment of raw emotion, and she's lashing out at someone who, yes, deserves to be lashed out at.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But she's also causing immense damage to the rest of the city as well.
Yeah. And Punisher's ready to take her out with a long-range gun.
Yep, he's outside of her psychic range. He's got the sniper rifle.
Yeah. And you know, Peter gets through the hand that somehow damage control is using them as, enforcers now, which there's our misdirect from the trailer.
Yeah.
Yep. It turns out none of the scenes that focusing the hand had a secret character in them.
Nope.
Yes. Daredevil was not involved at all. Shock.
Not
What a
even mentioned.
Hulk
shocker.
wasn't. Even the big sequence with them all jumping out of a building is like, nope, it was just Spider-Man there.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And
so like, you got us this time.
He with Jean taunting him to just, decide, are you the man, are you the spider? And he decides to be both and integrates the two halves.
Yeah, he does it.
And that's when, he lets Jean in to see the vision of May.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That we were talking about. And she lets Metzger
Although that
go.
hand fight was brutal up to that point. He was getting trounced.
Oh, yeah.
He was getting bodied.
Like,
and
he's good, but like ninjas on a hive mind, you can't be ninjas on a hive mind.
Mm-hmm.
And so the Punisher takes his shot.
Yeah.
And the Spidey
it's
sense
a direct
kicks
homage to it's a direct homage to the Ultimate Comics, the Death of Spider-Man story arc. Even the same location.
And I love how they represented the use of spider sense in this instance, where Jean and Spidey are still in the psychic vision room when all of a sudden the shot rings out and they look into the distance and they see into the darkness. They're both able to detect that the bullet is coming because she's currently in Spider-Man's mind.
Right.
It's just like, and then he protects her. He saves her from the bullet.
He protects her, he saves her from the bullet, and as he's laying there bleeding out.
Yeah, he's bleeding out. He's about to die.
Yeah, like
she
got
she
her.
enters his mind and she breathes for him.
Mm-hmm.
She keeps him breathing until the Punisher can get him to a hospital and he can breathe on his own again. And we get some fun.
That is her first time using her powers to save someone. It truly was again. I'm still gonna be I'm still iffy about the guy damn rooftop scene, but I will say that was a good first step for her.
And I'm not gonna lie. Once they confirmed that it was Jean, first when damage control was testing her and the parts of her brain are starting to light up, and then when she's gonna help Peter, both times I expected Phoenix imagery because I was like, yeah, they're doing this speed run.
No Phoenix imagery.
And I'm glad that there wasn't.
I'm glad they didn't. Because I just know someone in that room, some executive is like, oh, we could put some Phoenix imagery in here because he's bringing Peter to life. But it's like, nope. Get out of here.
And
but we're going to do Dark Phoenix eventually in like 3 movies. Like, get out of here. Go.
And Peter gets to see the public pulling for him. That even though he's he's been isolated and alone, he's not alone.
Because he's done the work to earn, like, again, like, end of Spider-Man No Way Home, he was kind of reviled still.
Yes.
But he put in the work for 4 years. Mm-hmm. For 4 years, he put in the work and basically saved the city.
Oh, yeah.
And we close with him, in the bodega again, buying his daily flowers for May. And Ned is sitting there.
Oh, yeah.
He goes over. and he introduces himself as Peter, which, worth noting, when Spider-Man left Ned and MJ's apartment after building the Legos with Ned, when shit started to
Peter.
happen again,
Oh,
she slipped up and called him Peter.
Yeah, and then Ned was like, "Oh, his name is Peter."
One note before that is like the reveal of the fact that the Metzger was lying was a great just one line like put the whole puzzle together moment.
Yeah.
It's like, no, I don't remember anything. It's like,
but he
wait.
said he did. So wait a second.
Yeah.
So
That's great. That's great. One word, boom, mystery. You put it in your head like, wait, that doesn't make any sense.
And so he goes to shake Ned's hand and then starts to go through their shared secret handshake. And Ned starts reacting with it. Now, meanwhile, also intercut with some of this, while Spider-Man was in the hospital, MJ was on their old school roof, like playing with the Black Dahlia necklace. And so that it does leave us with some ambiguity about, there's some people out there already online who are saying that, because they got hit with Jean's, they were inside Jean's wave of mental energy, and MJ was crying during that point, that somewhere in their minds they got some of Peter's memories. Or some people are just saying, well, some people are saying that, no, Ned just had muscle memory of
I'm going with the muscle
the
memory.
handshake.
Yeah, like it's implied that Ned and Peter knew each other way longer than Peter and MJ knew each other. So that would feel a lot more like plausible that there's that much memory can, like, even on a physical level, be there. Also, I think honestly, I can't imagine what's going through on any of those people's minds. I'd be crying too if I was stuck in a weird psychic frozen zone.
But
I'm pretty sure that's scary.
And that's where we leave it. It was an awesome movie.
Oh yeah, it was so good.
A couple of other just small things, small potatoes that I want to mention is, first of all, I didn't put this in the notes. This is me remembering this. I loved Florence Pugh as Yelena in this.
Florence
I
Pugh
love
is
every time she shows up as Yelena in a project. It is gold.
It has not let me down at all. If we're doing a big reboot, she's coming with.
She's the best Black Widow.
I mean, she clearly has a lot of fun with the role. The writers have a lot of fun coming up with stuff for her.
Mm-hmm.
I love that her office is just a sauna.
Mm-hmm.
It's a Russian banya, and
it's like
her logic is logical.
Yeah.
And by doing it there and not in Avengers Tower, there's absolutely no way that Val can eavesdrop on anything that she's doing or saying. And
it's all logical. It all makes sense, but it's also just so fun.
And just her constant reference telling him that you deal with the tiny potatoes. We are big potatoes. Huge, big potatoes. That's already becoming a meme online in referring to this movie.
Yeah, it's the new Avengers level threat. It's now potatoes. We measured potatoes.
Big potatoes.
Yep.
And if there is not a line about big potatoes in Avengers Endgame, I'm going to riot. Or in Doomsday. I'm going to riot. I'm going to riot.
Doom is at least one big potato.
He is perhaps one of the biggest potatoes of all.
Honestly, that's the biggest thing that got threw me for a loop. We went there and we were at the start. No Doomsday trailer.
I was very surprised, but again, it's a Sony movie.
It is a Sony flick, and they did prioritize a lot of other films in that. But it's just odd. It's
what
they
made
a
I
lot.
did.
They did a lot of marketing for it. Is just in case someone was under a rock.
Here is what I expected on that front. I expected a repeat of what happened with Far From Home. I didn't expect the trailer beforehand. I expected the post-credit scene to be the newer trailer that they dropped at San Diego last week.
Oh yeah, the Hall H trailer. Yeah,
yeah.
I could
just
see
like
that. Yeah,
with Far From Home, the second post-credit scene was just the trailer for Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness.
Yeah.
So that's what I expected out of this, but we didn't get it. I was surprised.
Yeah, not really. Not.
We were all
in fact, I think the last two MCU movies I've seen didn't really have substantial post-credit scenes.
Yeah, this one was. It had the Spidey tracker, which is cool, and I just found out it was actually part of the marketing.
The last big one Thunderbolts? No, Fantastic Four.
Yeah, it was Fantastic Four. Yeah,
I don't think that one had any post-credit scene.
No, it did. The second one was their cartoon, but the first one was Doom visiting Franklin.
Right. Yeah, that's right. Now I remember.
And Thunderbolts was the Wheaties one, and then the Fantastic Four ship that's going to be a scene in Doomsday.
Yes.
Right.
This one is the Spidey tracker and Spider-Man in space.
Apparently.
Yep. And
then they really trolled us. Then they really trolled us with Spider-Man will return.
And we're all waiting for Avengers Doomsday to show up, but Tom Holland has not been confirmed for Doomsday.
Maybe Spider-Man will return in Secret Wars, and that's the location in space that they're showing.
Yeah, it could be Battleworld.
He has been confirmed for Secret Wars,
and so is City
for
Sync,
Doomsday.
But not for Doomsday. And it's it just feels weird to not have him there. But then again, he's small potatoes. That's big potatoes.
Yeah. And the other small potato that I wanted to bring up is I want to talk about the movie's other Gene, Detective Gene DeWolf.
Oh yeah,
great supporting character.
Mm-hmm. Glad to see her there.
The character didn't really have much in common with comics Gene DeWolf besides the name.
Well, it's maybe the next one it'll be the death of Gene DeWolf.
Well, I was about to say, I was worried she wasn't going to make it out of this movie alive, since her most prominent comic story is the death of Gene DeWolf. And I was glad she was around till the end because I liked this Gene DeWolf.
Oh yeah, she's great.
I liked that. I mean, she's Spider-Man's police contact, but she's like, you're doing this 24/7. That can't be healthy.
Mm-hmm.
And when he went a bit off with it, I do hope, we touched on a lot of storylines with this one. I feel that's very unique in that it's not really portraying any one iconic run of a Spider-Man arc.
Yeah, not
there were
really.
bits and pieces from a bunch of them.
So I do hope we do revisit this sort of pseudo the other six-arm saga, because I do want Man Spider at some point.
Mm-hmm.
At this point, I won't be, I wasn't upset that we didn't get in this one. I was kind of thinking we were, just from hints in the trailer. I thought that's what, if anything, was altered in the shot of him leaping at the hand. I thought it was going to be him with 6 arms. But if they don't do it, I'm not going to mind.
Oh yeah, they're not going to mind, but it's I kind of want it. It's like because they have the setup now.
I mean, I just, I think that they reached a resolution of that at the end of this. So I think that going back to that well again, it would be kind of like if this
Oh
movie had
yeah,
reversed the whole,
you're
thing
right.
of the spell. So he's got his resolution. He's made his
Then I
peace
know,
because they were saying that, well, this came on because of the stress of him trying to do everything on his own.
but then I know what I want from Secret Wars. Then do it in Secret Wars.
Well,
Have a
here's the
variant
thing.
with 6 arms.
Thinking about what's going to happen next in future Spider-Man movies, we know that the Venom symbiote exists in the MCU, and it's fairly reasonable to say that Spider-Man's next appearance may very well be in Secret Wars.
And
And
that's
of
where
course,
he traditionally gets the suit.
yep, but at the same time, doing you know it, doing the next Spider-Man movie post Secret Wars, if that is the Venom symbiote narrative, that would be covering a substantial amount of ground that we covered in this movie,
Yeah.
because a lot of people described the situation with Spider-Man becoming more spidery as being very similar to his situation with the symbiote.
Yeah.
So that is
There's ways they can get around it. It's different interpretations of the symbiote
this is true. This is true.
storyline. I like,
I just
but it's like
I think they reached
there's,
a good resolution, and
Mhm.
there's a lot that I feel
we're
that like
we're
this
bound
does.
to at
Oh,
some
yeah,
we're bound to at some point get a Spider-Man Venom story in the
Mhm.
MCU. I mean,
Yes.
it's just it's inevitable,
Yes.
just
yeah.
like Thanos.
Of
Hmm.
course.
So I it's gonna happen. I almost kind of just want them to go ahead and get it over with.
Mhm.
I don't want them to draw it out. I think you've got maybe a movie's worth, just like you did with Spider-Man 3.
Oh yeah, like if they do it as we're thinking, they introduce it in is it in Secret Wars, they got a solid movie after that to work
Yeah,
with.
just don't if you know that it's the Venom symbiote, but have it just function as the original black costume
Yeah.
in
That'd be
Secret
some
Wars.
good stuff.
And in
Then
fact, have him show up in, another movie in there somewhere in that black costume with it acting normal.
Mhm.
yeah,
And do the Venom story in the next Spider-Man movie. Get it out your system.
but
Have,
give some
ha
time. Give it some
no, no,
time.
no.
Give some
Here's
time.
so you have him show up in Fantastic Four 2. He's in the black costume. It acts normal, but you let them establish a friendship between him and Johnny so that in the next Spider-Man movie, and it's the Venom story, just like in the comics, he can go to the FF
Yeah,
and try to have Reed help him remove it. Reed discovers that it's a symbiote. They try to remove it. All of that stuff. Get play with the Marvel universe. If you're going to keep throwing guest stars into the Spider-Man movies,
play with the toys. We have
make
the
use of
toys
them.
now.
Yeah.
We have the action figures set now. We have the expansion
We have
pack
the
now.
action
Give
figures,
the
so let's
toys.
bang them together.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And Nick, I think you were saying yesterday that you had some thoughts about how Jean's portrayal in this movie could affect the X family of movies going forward.
Yes. Basically, this one of the usual things that I feel that is difficult to establish in, especially in the MCU, is like, well, how do we go from mutants exist to a world that hates and fears them? Well, this has a pretty big moment that I don't think people are going to feel very comfortable about.
This is true.
Yep.
Like that whole like that's why I even was like that's why I think that's more the reason why like MJ was crying and Ned felt weird afterwards. Like I think people are going to be like that was disturbing. I did not like that. And there's just people that can do that. I think
I
that will
mean,
help start the sort of again, this is a world of superheroes and enhanced peoples. This is like new stuff, and they're like, this is dangerous. I can see people using that to rile up the populace and get sort of the mutant detainment stuff going on, the Sentinel program, stuff like that, as a response to
Nick,
this event.
Nick, is this why you wanted me to pull that clip for you?
Yes.
God, you know why people hate you? It's not because you're mutants. It's because you're all a bunch of mother. That's why. You.
That one? I hate Bendis.
I know you do. But it also comes from a storyline where Jean used her powers and things got very uncomfortable.
Well, I mean, you know what? This is, I mean, there's a lot of reasons why, but that's probably yet another reason why Bendis got a special thanks in the credits, because Bendis's every time Bendis writes Jean, she's an awful person. She's
Mm-hmm.
the one. Bendis Jean is the one who outed Iceman against his will.
Yeah. In the comic I
And
just said, she switched the minds of Logan and Peter
yeah,
for
so that,
reasons.
Wolverine in Peter's body tried to get it on with 15-year-old Mary Jane.
Mm.
I hate
And
Bendis. I hate Bendis.
oh yeah, but again, because of that horrible writing, I feel that this is the response that Peter would have to all that shenanigans.
But I am curious now what direction they're going to take when they do get to X-Men in 2028, 2029.
But they definitely have some things set up here that are definitely going to help make that because again, like people like well, we have like the Spider-Man and stuff like that. It's like people are hating and fearing him. It's like, well, this is a major incident that could cause that.
Mm-hmm.
It helps smooth that over.
I mean, given how they have the MCU set up, that can narratively kind of work because oh sure we got over the Sokovia Accords and repealed that after the whole Thanos thing. We repealed the Accords because enhanced are fine, but these mutants, that's another matter entirely.
Yeah. So I feel that that's it. Again, depending on how they're going to do this post Secret Wars MCU, because it's not going to be a hard reboot. This is a good thing that they could add and use as like, okay, this is why this is this way.
And I I am still, just final words, kind of disappointed that Sadie Sink was Jean. I mean, she's going to do an awesome job as Jean. She did an awesome job as Jean, but if you're going to bring in a redheaded mutant in a Spider-Man movie, make her Firestar, you cowards.
Yeah.
Go Spider-Man and his amazing friends. Introduce
Friends.
Firestar and introduce Iceman.
Ah,
Both of
yes,
them.
this will be the moral dilemma that Spider-Man has to deal with in Spider-Man 8. Will he be rooming with his mutant friends or his human friends?
Because just do Firestar.
Mhm.
Do Firestar.
Do it.
But I enjoyed it. I want to see it again. I want to see it again
Oh yeah.
soon, but I kind of want to see the Odyssey again first, and then I want to see this again first because I saw the Odyssey on Tuesday, saw this on Saturday. So within 5 days, I saw two different movies with Tom Holland, Zendaya, and John Bernthal. So I kind of want to repeat that experience.
Well,
And
okay.
if you had a nickel for that, you'd have 2 nickels.
But if I do it again, then I'll have 4, which still won't pay for a single movie ticket.
No, it won't.
Any other closing thoughts from either of the two of you?
I think I've gotten all I have to say out.
Yeah, I think so. It was a very lovely movie.
Yeah,
was.
It's definitely in this pseudo phase of the MCU. Definitely a high point going into the
no, you know what?
The big ones.
One other thing that's interesting to think about and try to figure out, you know, originally with the original schedule, Doomsday was supposed to come out in May of this year, and this was still supposed to be end of July.
Huh.
So this was going to be coming out after Doomsday.
Interesting.
And that's why a lot of people were saying, well, that's why, Spider-Man's not in Doomsday because his own movie is coming out after Doomsday, and then that'll go into Secret Wars. But, I don't think this would have worked in between the two.
Yeah, it would have been an awkward point to put there.
Well, we haven't seen Doomsday yet, so we can't fully say.
That's true, but
we do know. But we do know that incursions are occurring in Doomsday, so that there are 3 Earths kind of starting to merge with one another that can be seen from each other's atmospheres.
Yes,
and Yelena wouldn't be here
because
doing
she's dealing with the big potatoes.
Stuff. Yeah, so again, it would also that's another reason why it wouldn't necessarily work as like the original schedule. So again, there's probably some behind the scenes chicanery that we don't know yet.
Yeah, it's supposedly all Doomsday production and post-production timing versus Spider-Man production and post-production timing, that there was no way Doomsday was going to be ready in May.
Yeah.
But, I mean, they supposedly haven't even started filming Secret Wars, and it comes out a year after Doomsday, but I'm betting that the Russos are doing a Lord of the Rings here.
Oh yeah, it wouldn't surprise me the slightest.
I'm betting both are being filmed at the same time. But anyway, that is our thoughts on Spider-Man Brand New Day. If you saw it, we hope you enjoyed it. Let us know on socials. We're going to get to those here in a second. What you thought of it, what you thought of the episode, what you thought of our thoughts. Did you think we were full of it? Were we right on the mark? But thanks for joining us for Casual Nerdity. If you're enjoying the show, there's easy ways to support us. Leaving a hopefully good review on your podcast platform of choice helps more listeners find us. And if you're listening on YouTube, don't forget to like and subscribe because those algorithms need their fuel. And you can support the show directly by grabbing a t-shirt from our merch store at store.casualnerdity.com. And of course, come hang out with us on social media. Do all of those things talking about this movie and this episode that I was just talking about. We are Casual Nerdity, all one word, on Facebook, Instagram, Threads, and Twitter, X, whatever, and casualnerdity.com on Blue Sky. So until next time, be the hero that your neighborhood deserves.
Yeah.
So long.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
This has been Casual Nerdity. We hope you've enjoyed your time with us and look forward to having you back.